Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Daily Trader. I'm Kevin Hincks. I'll be taking you through 10 minutes of your time is all I need every day, and I'll give you a macro update and two good practice trades to look at. First, let's get to the day. Tesla's earnings are dominating the markets here, but actually, if you look, the markets are fairly mixed. You know, it's earnings season. So microeconomic news of individual names dominate today's market. How do I know? Look at the S&P higher, look at the NASDAQ higher, both affected by Tesla. But the Dow Jones Industrial Average lower on the day. Why? You've got news from Boeing, you got news from Honeywell, you got news from IBM, all on the downside. So basically 3 out of 30 names are holding back the Dow Industrial Average. So that's why you may see some mixed markets today. But Tesla's news, Tesla currently, as the show comes on, up 16.7%. Why? Not only did he beat numbers, not only did he beat margins, but he showed that he's starting to make money from other places, like software, right? The upgrades, the full self-driving software is starting to make money. The self-regulatory credits, like for zero emissions, is making money. Battery storage and charging is making money. Coming soon, robo-taxis and full self-driving is making money. So a little bit of a relief rally in Tesla today and a relief rally in UPS that we've talked about on this podcast. So make sure you understand, make sure you're watching these, because what I'm talking about is real-time trades that we're looking at here. All right, now let's get to our trades. The first one, Nvidia. Now, Nvidia, a key detail to talk about. Nvidia's earnings were scheduled to come out November 26th. That date has changed to November 20th. Why is that important? Because the event expiration on the option chain moves from 1 week earlier. So make sure you understand that Nvidia's earnings have moved from November 20th from November 26th. Key point there. Now let's get to how these stocks are connected. Nvidia, right? The clear leader in AI and GPUs. One of their biggest customers, Tesla, that's doing all these things. They're using Nvidia chips to do that. Now, as you know, Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, came out and said that their Blackwell chips sold out. Right? He said, how often do you hear a CEO use terms like the demand is insane? They've got a 12 months, so the whole year of 2025 is sold out. They haven't even started delivering yet. It's either late 2024 or early 2025 is the news we're getting for deliveries and mass production of the Blackwell chip. And oh, by the way, if you need any other reason, the Rubin chip is waiting in the wings. That's the next generation. They've already got the next one going. They haven't even started shipping the Blackwell chip yet. So that is how powerful this new chip is from Blackwell and the demand for it. Now, they have earnings coming up. 140 has been a pretty important price, if you know that. And you can look. I want to show you. I want to take a moment to look at the chart of Nvidia, and here's why. Look at the divergence between Nvidia and the other name we're going to talk about today, AMD. Look at how the pink line on that screen, that's AMD. The bar chart is Nvidia. Look at how they're diverging. That means, remember, Nvidia or AMD stock was down the day that Nvidia stock was up when AMD was announcing new chips. We're going to get to AMD, but I want to stick with Nvidia. But look at that chart and how they're dominating against their competitors. Like I said, insane demand. Blackwell chips sold out. So many good things happening from Jensen Huang. Now let's get to the trade, because remember, it's important to always understand where implied volatility is right now. In the IV percentile on Nvidia, a 41, that means it's below, in the lower half of where it normally sits. It's not necessarily high. It's working to the low side with an event coming up on the horizon. So what I did, staying ahead of the November 20th, I went to the November 15th expiration, And what we did here, we went something in the calendar spread family. Remember, buying Vega, having long Vega on the trade because implied volatility is lower than 50%. I bought the November 15th 150 call and sold the November 1st 150 call. This is a paper money NVIDIA trade, trading about $2.20. This is targeting what? The short strike, right? On the calendar spread, it's the short strike, the 150. So you're looking for in the next, but remember, out to November 15th, you can see that the expected move is $14.90 in either direction. We're only looking for a $10.50 move up towards the 150 strike. So the good news about this spread, it collects theta. It's long deltas targeting that 150 strike. And it gives you time to extend duration, and you can extend duration. Let's see, you can only do it once, but remember, when you extend duration, you'll lower the price, the net debit of that spread, and you'll also lower the break even on that spread. So this is a bullish calendar spread targeting the 150 strike between now and November 15th. So, like I said, the risk, whatever you spend on a calendar spread is the risk on the spread. And this is one that targets a move towards the $150 level. So the next $10 move in NVIDIA ahead of the earnings event, because of course, we'll trade that earnings event when it comes up. All right, now, let's get to the second trade, which is AMD. And I want to go back to the chart. The divergence between these two means I have a little stronger delta opinion in AMD. Why? Because even though NVIDIA is the dominant player, Lisa Su and AMD still have an extremely promising MI chip that Dell Technology is using, Evident is using, Hewlett-Packard, Lenovo, Supermicro. They've still got demand for their chip. And the MI 325X and the upcoming MI 350, these are promising chips in AI. Now, though NVIDIA is dominant, a solid number two can still do extremely well, even though, look at the chart on the stock, has sold off the last, over the last, let's see, it's down significantly towards that, currently trading about, let's throw AMD up there for our second trade. And you can see it's trading 153. So we're going to do something a little different, a little more aggressive that gives us a bigger delta in AMD. And so remember, they have earnings coming out October 29th. So in 5 days, they come out with earnings next week. So the trade there, we're doing something a little different. We're going to do something into the earnings week, which is we're going to buy a 1 week call diagonal in AMD. We're going to buy the November 8th 155 call, and we're going to sell next week's November 1st, which is the event week, 165 call. So we're going to do a $10 call diagonal. It's trading about, it looks like the value right now is about $5.15. And as you can see, if you get an up move in AMD after earnings, look, you're going to have positive theta. You're going to have a bigger delta because of the diagonal. Remember, a diagonal is in the calendar spread family, same idea, except you're embedding that $10 vertical, the 155, 165 call vertical, into that spread. So that's where you get that flat line up there on the right. If you see the profit graph, see there up to the right, it's unlike the calendar spread. It doesn't come back down. It stays higher because you've got that $10 call vertical embedded in there. So again, the risk on this trade, just like the calendar spread, it's what you spend on it. So you've got $5.15 of risk buying the November 8th 155 call, selling next week's November 1st 165 call in AMD. And so remember, the solid number two that is diverging currently from the leader, and they may set the table for what NVIDIA's chips are doing. Remember, AMD already dominates names like Intel in PCs and semiconductors? Can they start to compete? Are they the clear number 2 in GPUs and AI chips? That we'll find out in the coming weeks. But with the divergent in these two names, it's interesting to look at AMD versus NVIDIA and which might be the better play. It's going to be fun. You know, we'll get AMD's earnings on October 29th and NVIDIA's earnings on November 20th. All right, 10 minutes, a macro update, and 2 trades on NVIDIA and AMD. That's all for Daily Trader. I'm Kevin Hincks. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.